Okay.
So confirm whether I can hear you.
Let me confirm for you here so that we can hear.
You can hear me. Through you can hear me.
Yes, yeah. No,
No. What if I have? Are you hearing me? They are hearing me. Hello. Oh. You getting me? You getting me? Hello.
We are getting you.
They are not. Are you getting me?
Yes, we are getting you.
Yeah, come here. No. Why you not scared of that?
Nawe isokero kyagalanye ebintu by'omuzannyo.
Yes, guys, banange stop salama okubeera so much nini. Okay, good morning guys. So are you going to be first?
Mwane.
Banange murangisiza masiki yange. Someone goes to your mother tongue. Okay, we're going for oxygen delivery, anesthesia machine, and the different breathing systems, right? So in the first slide, we all see there is an anesthetic machine. So this anesthetic machine has different components, which are for the different categories. You know, the anesthetic machine can be, this one for it can be both semi-closed, semi-open, and closed system. The anesthetic machine, okay? It can't be an open system. So here in the next slide, you're looking at the parts of the anesthetic machine. One, we have a vaporizer, right? Are we together? Yeah. We are at that. We all these parts have their function. Now, like the vaporizer, we know that the anesthetic material you're going to give, in most cases, it is in liquid form. So this vaporizer is used to turn that liquid anesthetic agent into a gaseous anesthetic agent. At the same time, this vaporizer is the one that determines the percentage of the concentration of the anesthetic agent and the air, because it determines how much of the anesthetic agent it puts in the air flowing in. Then we have a ventilator. This ventilator is the one used for the gaseous flow, because it's the one that does the mechanical breathing for this anesthetic machine. Then as you look at the flow meter is used for gauging, okay? You gauge and see how much of the gas you're giving, of the mixture you're giving, okay? Then we have the blow. Blow is more of a valve, making it in direction. Then coagulated tubes, these ones are the ones where you breathe in and breathe out. Then in the AL, which one? Bellow. We shall check in front about a bellow. I think it's bellow. Yeah. Bellow, BELOW. Yeah, there is a double L. Bellow. We shall find in front. Then the valve, the ALP valve, it is an adjustable. Those two things shall make them in front, but that one is, it is to determine how much of the gas goes into the valve. You're getting this ALP valve, it determines how much it goes into the valve. It is also used to turn the system into either a semi-closed, a closed, or semi-open, that ALP valve. Then the scavenging system, that's the one that attached to the other bulb. Then the lime, soda lime is for absorption of carbon dioxide. So we shall go through all of them in front. Okay, that was like an overview. So the first thing we have looked at is a vaporizer. Okay, so a vaporizer is an instrument that is designed to change the liquid anesthetic agent into a vapor and add a controlled amount of this vapor to the fresh gas flow. Okay, so you know we shall have the fresh gas passing through. So part of it will go down, pick the liquid agent, vaporize it, then that vaporized agent come back to the mainstream. Okay, so this vaporizer will determine whether in that anesthetic mixture, the gas that will come out of it, whether it will be 40% anesthetic agent or 20%, because it will be mixing the air flow that is going into with the anesthetic agent. So that will be the function of the vaporizer. As we can see here, the flow, the vaporizer have an inlet that is bringing in either oxygen or air, and then when it is taking out, part of the air goes down, picks up the anesthetic agent, and comes back against the mainstream. So the flow from the flow meters enters the inlet of the vaporizer. You know, the flow here at the generic bypass vaporizer. Yes, you are together. So the function of the concentration control valve is to regulate the amount of that flows through the pipe. So I think you see the different control valves. There is a control valve above and there is a control valve on the side. Okay. So the control valve above will determine how much of the air goes through that vaporizer. Now the one that is needed mostly is the one that is on the sides. Okay. That one on the sides is the one that controls for the percentages. Because if it blocks partly of the vaporized anesthetic agent and it cannot come back to the main flow, you're getting me? That means we shall have in the final mixture a lesser concentration of the anesthetic agent. Okay, and those that you see like these, you see those T's. That one is called this. They can either work concurrently or independently. Okay, what? The word is still there. Is there? Still lost. And it is scared. So there are two valves, okay? This above valve, for it controls the amount of air that will be in the final product. The one on the side controls the amount of vapor that is to be in the final concentration. We're getting it. So if I partially close the above one, you're getting me, and I open the one on the side, that means my final flow out, my outflow will be having more air. You're getting, we're having more anesthetic agent and less air mixture. You're getting me. So that will increase the concentration of the anesthetic agent in the final outflow. However, if I open the one above, that means more air is going through. You're getting me? And then I close the one below and I let only a few anesthetic agents to pass through. Okay, the other mixture of the anesthetic agent. That means in my final product, I'll be having less anesthetic agent and more air percentage. You're getting me? So that will be in the variation of age, whereby you find young kids, you give them a lesser dose compared to the old ones. So if you close the, if it's an old person, you partially close the one above, you're getting me? That's why they say, you see there is decrease and increase. So when I'm pushing it down, that means I'm blocking it. When I'm blocking it, that air inlet that is coming to the vaporizer, most of it will be channeled down to the liquid agent. You're getting it? And most of it will come out with a higher concentration of the what? Of the anesthetic agent. You're getting the how the valves control the outlet, what will come out at the end of the day for the anesthetic agent you're taking in. We are together on that about the vaporizer. Okay. So we have a vaporizer interlock mechanism. You know that this anesthetic agent, sometimes you find that you have like 3 anesthetic bulbs connected to the same machine. You're getting me? So if the vaporizer interlock mechanism is not there, you can accidentally give a patient two anesthetic agents unknowingly. You're getting me? So in order to avoid that, because if you see those machines, they always have 3, 4, and each one of them has a specific vaporizer. It's a vaporizer of a specific anesthetic what? Agent. So in order to avoid that, you may find for you connected all the 3, just use what you feel like at every particular time. So to avoid you giving a patient more than one anesthetic agent, the vaporizers have an interlock what? Mechanism, whereby if you open one, the other 2 close automatically. They can't work. And then if you to shift from one to another, you just can't use both of them at the same time, okay? So that's the use of the vaporizer interlock mechanism. If you go to the theater, we shall see that well, okay? Then we have the carbon dioxide absorber system. This carbon dioxide absorber system, it contains limestone, okay? So limestone, we know its major function is to absorb the carbon dioxide. So this absorber system is mostly used in a closed system. We shall really pass through the systems when we reach there. So it is used usually in the closed system, whereby I want the patient to fully utilize that oxygen that I'm supplying. So if you want the patient to fully utilize that oxygen, he breathes it in, then breathe out. When we breathe out, we breathe out also oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay? So you want him to breathe again that oxygen. What you do, that air passes through the carbon dioxide absorber system, and once it is absorbed the carbon dioxide, I make the patient rebreathe the oxygen again. Okay, that will be a closed system. Breathe out the air, I remove the carbon dioxide, I bring it back to you. You're getting me? So that's what the absorber system does, carbon dioxide absorber system. And what we should know, this absorber carbon dioxide system is they put an indicator in it that once it is overused, it changes color. Okay. However, once it changes color, you have to replace it. Okay. But it can confuse sometimes. Okay. If this indicator, if you let the absorber rest, okay, the indicator will disappear and that absorber will look white again. So someone may say, okay, can I replace it back? If you replace it back, it's no longer absorbing carbon dioxide. You just have to replace it. You don't have to put it back. If you see it has turned back to white. Okay, so what is an ideal breathing system? Now we are into breathing systems. Okay, the others they have not so much talked about them, but what you should know is anesthetic machines have an air inlet. They also have an oxygen inlet, and some have a carbon dioxide outlet. Okay, if it wants to turn from a closed to a semi-closed or a semi-open, okay, you might be having an air outlet, not specifically carbon dioxide. So an ideal breathing system, one, it has to be simple and safe to use. Okay, you don't want someone's the carbon dioxide to stay inside, and then the toxicity increases. Then it delivers the right gas mixtures. If you want a particular percentage, it must be able to produce it, because it will be very catastrophic if you want to give a 20% of the anesthetic agent, you end up giving 40%. Okay, so that becomes not an idea. Then all methods of ventilation in all age groups, sure, it must be allowing all methods. You're getting, yeah, you can use either semi-closed and open or a closed system, and it depends because different age groups need different systems. Okay, like you cannot give a baby a closed system. Because we know in closed system you need more force for breathing. It needs you more force of breathing compared to semi-open, which does not need that too much force of breathing. So maybe you have to put a semi-open, then for an adult you can put a closed system, which is better for them. Then it has to be efficient, it has to have a pressure relief, it has to be small and light, yet most of them they're trying to make them small and light, but it is hard. It then allows easy removal of the waste gases, then easily to maintain running costs. That is it. So anesthesia breathing system. What is the purpose of this anesthesia breathing system? Well, we have to deliver the anesthetic gases and oxygen. Okay, so that's their number one purpose. Number two, they offer a means of deliver anesthesia without sufficient increase in airway resistance. You're getting, they must be providing this anesthesia without putting resistance, because we shall see that if you have a bigger dead space, if the dead space is big, that person needs a lot of energy to actually receive the oxygen. Most of the oxygen will be occupied in the dead space. So we have to have a system that does not actually have bigger dead space, so that the respiration can really occur very well. Then to offer a convenient and a safe method of delivering inhaled anesthetic agents. I think that was also self-explanatory. All the purposes are more like the same to me, because all of them are looking at how to deliver the anesthetic agent very safely and very well. So functions of any breathing circuit. One, it has to deliver oxygen and the anesthetic what? Gases. Two, it must eliminate carbon dioxide. You know, if we leave you in a faulty ventilator, you will not, it will not be eliminating the carbon dioxide yet. Like the other system, you find someone, the the limestones are you worn out, and instead using the same limestones. So that means the carbon dioxide is not being removed in the system. The person is in a closed system, so the carbon dioxide is increasing, and the person ends up getting carbon dioxide what? Toxicity. So that does not, we don't see the reason why put someone in such a breathing cycle if it's not eliminating the what? The carbon dioxide. Okay. So the soda lime has to be removed, and then adequate fresh gas. Okay. More oxygen is coming in and removing the carbon dioxide. So that's how the breathing system should be. So the breathing system components, it should have a fresh gas connection, because you're utilizing the oxygen. So we need you to have more oxygen coming in. Then it must have a patient connection. The patient should be able to what? To receive. Okay. Then it should have an adjustable pressure limiting valve. The adjustable pressure limiting valve is the one that connects to the reservoir. It is in one way or another determines whether someone has a closed or an open system. That adjustable pressure limiting valve, it's a valve that usually we use to close the bag of, you getting me? So if you close off the bag, you're literally making this person not having that that buffer system. Okay, so that reservoir for it, because we shall see how the reservoir turns it from one class of the breathing system to another. Okay, then it must have the reservoir or barrels. The barrels and the bag and the barrels, they are more so the same. Like for them, they are used in the buffering. Then there is, you should have what? Tubings, the tubings to connect the patient to the anesthetic machine. Then it must have a waste gas connection. Where do you put your waste gas? Is it absorbed? Is it released out? You're getting me? So we have an open, semi-open, semi-closed, and closed system, right? Now we're using an open system. Right now, we are all using an open system of breathing, okay? And even long ago, that's what they used to use for anesthesia. They just get a sponge, put it in anesthetic like chloroform, the way they still ask. They put a thing in chloroform, cover it all over your nose, just call that. You get me? So you've been given anesthesia, but we are not taking, your system is open. You're breathing in and out on your own. You're getting me? Then a closed system, what you breathe out is what you're going to breathe in back again. That makes it a closed system. Okay. So if it is a closed system and the air inflow I am putting in more, you're in a closed system. But the rate at which I'm putting in more air inflow is higher. You're in a closed, but I'm adding in more air. That makes it a what? A semi-open. Okay? And when you're breathing out, but most of your air is going through and coming back, but I'm adding a little air inflow. becomes a semi-closed. You must know the both ends, then these ones are in the middle. We have an open system, okay? Yeah, Angela, you have to
Please
observe
come
what's
again with
happening.
the difference.
Yeah, that's what you're coming back. We have an open system, we have a closed system, okay? Now, semi-open and semi-closed, it is determined by the air inflow, the new air I'm introducing, okay? If I introduce too much air volume, that becomes a semi-open. If I'm introducing less and more of it is being, the carbon dioxide is being, you're receiving more of your already used air, that becomes a semi-closed. Yes. Yes. What? Yes. That's right. So you're not giving me too much air now. You just now absorbing the carbon dioxide. No, the semi-open, I'm adding fresh air to the system. That is semi-open. I hope these ones are also getting it. Okay, the system, but what I'm meaning, okay, in this perspective to enlighten you more, you're getting, when I've incubated you, you're only getting oxygen from my oxygen tank. You're getting me, and then your carbon dioxide is going back. You're getting me? There you're semi-closed. I'm putting in the air oxygen, but little. But when I put a mask on your nose, you're getting the oxygen from the external environment plus mine. You're getting me? So in that system, your breathing system, I am putting in more oxygen, but removing what? The carbon dioxide. In the semi-closed, I'm giving you oxygen, but minimally compared to the semi-open. You're getting me? Either way, the one that is nearing each system, because the semi-open, you're nearly open, I'm nearly allowing you to breathe on your own, but I'm giving you something, okay? But the closed, you're closing, but I'm adding you, okay? In closed totally, you're not getting anything from my system. I put some oxygen somewhere, and then you continue retaking in that oxygen. The closed can be like the astronauts. The oxygen is all the same. So I am continuing what? Light. So because the oxygen is you're continuously receiving the same, the closed system, I am not adding any oxygen to your system. It's once all over. Are we together now on that? Salam Renal. Are we together? We are together with those systems. You'd emphasize on the systems also. Generally. Okay. So the semi-open, I classify as a system list. The system is as the Mapleson systems. So the semi-closed and the closed system use a carbon dioxide absorber so that the gas are recirculated. The classification is defined by the amount of fresh gas. So this is what we are saying. The amount of classification depends on the gas I'm giving you. If you're getting in more gas, it becomes semi-open. If it is reduced, the gas inlet, it becomes semi-closed, okay? You're getting from only my tank, semi-closed. You're getting from my tank and from the atmosphere, semi-open. Even when you're getting from my tank, I'm letting it out very fast. It also turns into semi-open. Then closed, it is less and they can move. You're literally taking some of the air you're breathing, okay? You're taking part of the air you breathe out. Semi-open, you bring in plus what I'm adding in. So this is the difference we can know. Now, the open system, you have no reservoir, you're getting me, and no rebreathing. Okay, so we don't have the other bulb as a reservoir. You have no reservoir at the bulb, and there is no rebreathing. Okay, that makes it what? Open system. I hope you're getting it. You don't have the other bulb of the reservoir. What you breathe out to come back. No, you don't have it, and you don't rebreathing what you've already breathed. That becomes an open system. A semi-open, yes, you have the reservoir. Okay, however, you cannot rebreathe what you've already breathed because I'm giving you a lot. There is no space for the other one that is going to the reservoir, coming back for you to breathe it. You're getting that becomes a semi-open. Semi-closed, you have the reservoir. What you breathe out is in the reservoir. But because I'm giving in less air now, you are rebreathing part of what you breathe out. You're getting me? That makes it a semi-closed. The closed system, what you breathe out is what you fully breathe in. That becomes a closed system, okay? So, and now open system, like we have an open air drop, eh? The other chloroform thing. I put chloroform on YouTube. What you breathe in, breathe out, it's on you, okay? The nasal cannulas also put, yeah, nasal cannulas just increase the concentration of oxygen around your nose. So they are also an open system, okay? It has no reservoir. You don't rebreathe. What you breathe out goes to the atmosphere. You don't rebreathe. Then semi-open, a non-rebreathable circuit, cycle at higher fresh gas flow. So even when these masks, there are these masks we put for you a reservoir. You're getting them, guns for breathing. When you're having the reservoir, but what you're breathing out goes out. Does not come in. Makes it semi open. Yeah. You wanted to add that? Okay. Okay. If that's how they speak them.
I ain't getting the add-on.
What?
I wasn't getting the add.
Pardon? Can you hear me?
I wasn't hearing the person who was adding on.
Okay, it's fine. Now, it proves, let's say, for example, like the astronaut going in the moon, they always move with a specific gas tank in their back. So, you're going to find they're like going to go like to the moon with their specific gas tank, and then they're like even going like to come back with that same gas tank.
Yeah. So, you're only breathing in this oxygen that you are breathing. Once you run out of oxygen, that you get it. Like that is the oxygen you have. It is a closed system. Here in this specific oxygen, you're going to be breathing it in, and that is it. Should it run out? Should not have. No.
Okay, like Leo, I think what I've understood is that like when you're in a closed system, like you have a specific amount of air. It's like when they put a polythene bag on your face. The only difference is that like in the polythene bag you suffocate because like carbon dioxide accumulates. But in this closed system, there is a system that is filtering out the carbon dioxide from that system. But the air you're breathing is the same cycle over and over again, like how you've been in a polythene bag, like you breathe in, you breathe out that same air. The difference is that like in the polythene bag, the partial pressures of carbon dioxide will increase because there is no filtering of carbon dioxide, which will cause you to suffocate. But here there is something that is filtering out the carbon dioxide, which will help to purify your oxygen, like the air, to have a higher concentration of oxygen than carbon dioxide. It's understood.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Polythene bag also you just put soda lime in the polythene bag. So you breathe, when the soda lime absorbs the carbon dioxide, you're breathing the same air, same air, same air, same. Yeah, will reduce faster. So it needs you to be having a bigger reserve. You've gotten the systems closed, open, blah blah. So there now, if you've understood it, which one would be best for the kids? Which system is best for kids? Which one do you believe it's for kids? Semi-closed, and for you? Closed. The two semis. Which best semi? Semi-open is the best for children because semi-closed has that gas passing through the soda lime particles. So that means the force of breathing has to be high for the patient to push that oxygen through, I mean the air mixture, because now it's the patient breathing, has to push that expired air into the other soda lime to absorb the carbon dioxide and come back. You're getting. Yeah, that is true. Like children, the thing is, this closed, they have a bigger force of your respiration. You respire using a lot of force because you have to push that gas through that soda lime concentrate. Yeah, they are not breathing, yes, they're just getting more air. So the effort of breathing is less. So you use that to them. You're not close. Eh? Okay, now let me recap for you. The open system, I just get this mask, put in chloroform, put on your nose. That's open system. You're getting me. The, you don't have a reservoir, what you're breathing out. You don't have where it goes to. And you collapse. Yes, on your own, yeah. That should be open system. Okay. Open. Nasal cannula is not, those are nasal cannulas. It is open. There is no reservoir and you don't breathe what you've breathed. Eh? If a reservoir is like a bulb, there has to be a bulb somewhere. But a bulb, a polythene, a container, you're getting. Yeah, that is. So, now the semi-open, okay? Now, okay, semi-closed. You're breathing, okay? But you're in a system. That system has what you breathe out goes to the reservoir. You getting me? So when it goes to that reservoir, you getting me? And then you breathe it back. But I also add you another part. You're getting me? No, wait. We have to move together because I have to create examples for you. You're getting me? Coming. Your recycled oxygen. No oxygen, not carbon dioxide. No, you breathe. Okay, wait, Emma. Let me explain to you. Get to me here. You breathing in. You breathe in the air I'm giving you, right? You breathe this out. Okay. What you breathe out, it goes to a certain reservoir somewhere. You're getting me? When it goes to that reservoir, it comes back. But in your system that is bringing it back, I add in oxygen. You're getting me? So you're breathing partly of what you breathe out. You're getting me? Plus the new oxygen I've put it. You're on a machine. I've put the laryngeal what? How do they call the other one? Yes. I've put for you an endotracheal tube, okay? What came out of your system, okay? Not through the carbon dioxide. In that oxygen, I recycled it back. I added for you oxygen. You're getting me? Then when I added for you oxygen, you bring it out. True. Hmm. Mhm. Okay. Carbon dioxide. So, yeah, really. Really giving out. It's a lot. But the thing is, of course, it's not your air. I give you the oxygen at first. The oxygen I give you is the oxygen you finish with. Yes, you just keep. Yes, yes, I give you at the start, then I close the oxygen tank. You're getting me? That becomes closed. But then semi-open, semi-closed, some I add you some, okay? Uh-huh. Yes, then on semi-open, fine, you're in a system, okay? Your oxygen, I'm keeping it, but you're not breathing in what you're having. Mm. Mm. To give you access. You're together. Uh-huh. What? Mm. In a closed, they must, they have their percentages. They have. No, yeah, based on what the patients need. Yeah? Okay. It is easier to manufacture oxygen. They just extract it from air. Yeah, even Hoima went there and the guy taught us how they manufacture the different cylinders. What do you mean? Yeah, actually, right now, we continue. No, this we have known the systems. If you know the systems, the rest is just no. In Hoima they have. Wait, in Hoima, okay, in Hoima they connected the gas directly to the machine. Okay. So the non-rebreathing circuits, so they all non-rebreathing circuits lack a unidirectional valve, okay, and the soda lime one absorption. So
Your
what
volume has gone down, please.
what? Hello, hello.
Your volume has gone down when you began rebreathing.
Okay. My volume, but I should shout. So all non-rebreathable circuits lack the unidirectional valves, right? What is it? So for them, the inspired air and the expired air, they move along, okay? And soda lime for carbon dioxide absorption. So non-rebreathable circuits, the open system, you don't rebreathe, and the semi-open system, you do not rebreathe, okay? Then the amount of rebreathing is highly dependent on the fresh gas flow, okay? The new fresh gas, if I add you more fresh gas, don't rebreathe it in. If I do not add you fresh gas, you do rebreathe it in. Work of breathing is slow. You're getting me. So on unidirectional valve, also the lime granules to create resistance. Okay, the valves to create that unidirectional and the lime soda lime granules they cause resistance. So that means it needs more power of breathing. Okay, so the Mark-Nelson system. The Mark-Nelson system, I hope you know it is the same open. They told it trust. So its advantages used during transportation of children, okay, when you're transporting a children, and then they have low resistance to breathing. They have low resistance to breathing. Then the disadvantages, It has what? Scavenging. It has a variable ability and depends on the what? On the fresh gas that you're giving in. On slide 15. Let's move faster. But more the other most slides about the masks, then high flows are required. So it needs a lot of too much gas. What? You give in too much gas. So giving too much gas, that means that gas, it is one, costly, two, it is making the child cold because this gas is taking away the child's heat. Then unrecognized kink or inner nose in unrecognized kink. I think that for this because it's not unidirectional, in case there is a kink, you may not notice. But the other one, because it's unidirectional, you can recognize pollution. It also pollutes because what you're breathing goes out. And this is difficult to assemble. So we are going to the Malpose alphabet. These are the different kinds of masks that they are using for people to breathe. Okay, because even this intubating is also a breathing system. Okay, the intubating is a breathing system. Ever also giving that CPR, this CPR thing, Ambubag, is also a semi-what? An Ambubag is what system? Yeah, an Ambubag is the same open what? System. So all those systems, they are talking about them. Now here they are giving us the different types of Ambubags or breathing masks that we can have, okay? So the alphabet, we have the A, B, C, D, E, and F, okay? So we shall be looking at them. So we have the Map Nelson A. Eh? That's what I'm trying. Okay. So this one is a type of Ambubag. Okay. So for it, we shall have the bulb below, and then we're having an air inflow, an influx of air. You're getting me? So the air or the Malling system is good for spontaneous breathing patients. So the fresh gas flow can be lower. However, its valve, the controlling valve, APM valve, is close to the patient. It is regarded by many as difficult to use. Now, this valve, it is used to determine how much gas will go to the other ambulance. Okay? Because if you let in too much gas to go into the ambulance, the patient will be what? Will be rebreathing it again. And if you close off the ambulance, the valve, breathing in new air and he's breathing out the other air. You're getting me? These things are connected to a mouth. They are connected to a mouth. You're getting me? So when they are connected to mouth, to breathe in and it goes out. Okay? But if you open the valve, they will breathe out, some goes into the valve and then comes back. But however, with this system, they had the problem of the valve. They are saying the valve is nearer the patient. So they couldn't easily control the valve. So in 1976, they modified it. It is still the same system. However, they moved the valve further. The valve now is near the bulb, okay? Not near the patient. However, that one also brought in another disadvantage, in that it created more dead space. So that means the amount of oxygen absorbed became less. You're getting it all together. We are together. Okay, so that's what those systems are about. We deliver in oxygen. This bulb determines how much you breathe in. Okay, so if I close off the bulb, that means you're not breathing in what you've breathed. So you've gone into a semi-open. If I open for the bulb, you're going into a semi-closed because what you're breathing, some is coming back. So that was the instance of the valve and then these delivery systems. So here we extended the valve, but that increased the dead space, hence this oxygen is being absorbed. So they went to now the D fashion. Now for the D fashion, you breathe in. You see that FGF, that is the fresh gas that you're getting in, okay? Then before you breathe out, some goes to the bag, which is the reservoir, and then another one is going outside. You're seeing the diagram below. it explains it well. We are together in slide 19. So this FGF, that is the fresh gas that is coming in. You're getting me? Then you expire. Once you expire, part of it goes into the valve, the other one is expired. If I close off the bag, everything will be expired out. That will become a semi-open. If I open for this valve, that means when I'm getting in air, you breathe out, some goes into the bag, you breathe it plus the new oxygen. Then you get into a semi-closed system. We are together. So that was the D format that was there. So you can see it there. That's how it would look like. Then the D, now this one's modified it. Instead of putting in, if you see the D, the first D, okay? In case the tube bringing fresh gas has a kink, okay? You cannot know because it is inside another tube. It can easily get a kink and this person is not getting fresh gas. So they had to modify it, okay? So the fresh gas, instead of passing through the other angle, it passes directly to the patient. That's the only modification we put there. Hope you're seeing it, okay? The paying system is a coaxial system where the fresh gas is delivered directly to the patient. So the fresh gas is delivered directly to the patient. Then when he breathes it out, it goes to the valve and out. So that is it. It requires a very high fresh gas flow to prevent rebreathing of the carbon dioxide, okay? If the bulb is not in the middle. So Bain, that, what was the advantage of that? Remember the other one had the tube inside. So warming of fresh gas inflow by this by surrounding exhaled gas. Okay. So when the gas is coming in, this person breathes out, there was a counter flow of that system, if you saw it. So this one is going out and the tube is bringing in. So the counter flow of the gases, the going out gas warms the incoming gas and the patient does not lose heat. To improve the humidification with partial breathing, okay? So the bulb, if I open it, you can have partial breathing if the bulb is open. Then excess ease of salvaging waste gases because it has a valve. You don't overflow. Then the overflow of the pressure valve. It has the other valve control, okay? So it can control how much you take in and you take out. And then it is disposable. Most of these masks are plastic, so you can throw them. So for us, we can use them. So the disadvantages, we can have an unrecognized what? Disconnection, okay? The one taking in the gas can disconnect and you cannot know. 2, kinking of the inner fresh air what? Tubing. The fresh air thing can kink and you cannot know. It will block. Then it requires a high flow, okay? More gas is going in so that we have what to breathe out. And then we have the F for it. No, what I'm saying, they're just names. Mapleson D, whatsoever. Mapleson D. Me, I read the map and lesson. Yes. Oh, it's only that Bain modified what Mapleson have done in this. You're getting me? Okay. Mapleson for it said you pass a tube to deliver the gas. The other one said it may kink. Let me deliver the gas directly. Yeah. Modified. Yeah, that's a modified. However, Mills, now, excuse me, now, what differentiates Mapleson D from Mapleson F? Mapleson D and Mapleson F, they are the same. However, in order to control rebreathing, Mapleson F, they put an outlet on the valve. You're getting me? That's the only thing they did. So the valve, instead of you rebreathing the gas goes to the valve and it is released. You're getting me? So they are making Mapleson F a more open system. You've gotten it? You've gotten it also. Mapleson F and Mapleson D, they are the same. But what changes is the bulb. For Mapleson D, the gas is not escaping. Mapleson F, it has an outlet. What you've breathed in. You're getting it? Yes. Mapleson F, all the Jackson rings, modification of the R's, T, and I, those are names. This is the best used for very, very small what? Patients, because they don't want this people to have more effort of breathing. They're making the system more open, okay? It is a big disadvantage that you cannot remove the waste gases safely. For them, when they see something going in the air, it's not safe. They want it removed safely. Because it has a bag with an open tail, it is technically a Jackson rate modification system used in patients less than 20 kgs and needs 3 times the minute volume of rebreathing. So for it to give it more oxygen, because it's going to go through the valve, it needs more oxygen input. Then the Mapleson C, it's what we usually use, the bagging system. Okay, the bagging system, this amber bag we usually have, is more than an anesthesia system. It can be found in all over the hospitals for use as an emergency bagging system for the rescue, okay, or manual ventilation during oxygen, as well as being a standard industrial system in some countries. Now, for this one, the valve can both control what you're going to breathe and what is coming in. It's one valve or controlling both. The other ones, the valve, the oxygen is not controlled by the valves. The valve just controls what goes out and what goes in the arm bag. But this one, the air you're going to breathe in, the air that is coming in, can also first be stored, and what you breathe out can also be stored. So they make a higher oxygen concentration in the valve. Then you can push it in. That's why it is done we are using. So the new fresh air, what you breathe in, and then when I press, they all go through. You getting me? So it can concentrate even the incoming air can be concentrated first. Then I press it, it goes through to you in large volumes. Okay. So the Mapleson, it's what we use mostly in hospitals. Those things have valves, but until I read this, I had not even realized that they are there. But if you see it, you see the cover of the round thing on top. Sorry, it's there. What is this are needed? We have the A, B, C, D, E, F. So they have those other things. The D, they name it buying. The E, RSTPs. F is Jackson Rains. A, it is Mangali Lac. Those guys, the oxygen they put in, that's what they give. Okay. The fresh gas, what? They have the fresh gas flow. That is the FGF. So we have this the cycle of the system. Okay, the fresh gas flow. You're seeing it's coming in. Then the respiratory limb bringing in, so a directional valve, so that your gas does not go. What? Altogether 26. Why are you shaking the hand then? We continue. Okay, the fresh gas flow comes in, the expression valve brings it in, you breathe it, okay? Once you breathe it, we shall have the expired limb. So the expired limb, we have the spill valve in case we want the waste to go out. When we open the spill valve, that means you're going into a semi-closed, you're not rebreathing it in. Once we close the spill valve, that means you rebreathe part of it. You're getting the spill valve down. Then we have the bag there. Then this can to take out having the soda lime, okay? The canister of carbon dioxide absorber. Then beats the reservoir bag. So we are looking at the unidirectional valves at the system. Those are the unidirectional valves. You can replace them or check to them to see whether they are doing their work. Going to be unidirectional, okay? Then anesthesia breathing systems, we have circle systems. So the circle system that we have seen, and it is the most commonly used. Adult and child appropriate sizes, use chemical neutralization for carbon dioxide because it's a cycle. Use the carbon dioxide to what? To eliminate it, conservation of moisture and body heat. That's the good thing of the system. It is conserved. And then we shall have low fresh gas flows, so this saves money. The circle systems, they are more of the semi-closed. Okay, we are together. It's more of a semi-closed system. Then the unidirectional valve. This unidirectional valve, they prevent inhalation of exhaled gases until they have passed through the carbon dioxide absorber. Then incomplete valve, we allow the breathing of carbon. Incompetent valves, we allow the breathing of carbon dioxide. What you've breathed in can come back, okay? They just kids. Then we have the pop-off valve, okay? So the pop-off valve, in case the pressure builds up, you get me? Remember, we are adding some gas to it, so we can be building up the pressure. So this pop-off valve will release the pressure, okay? So it allows pressure control, pressure control, ventilation, and allows for manual and assistant ventilation with masks. You get it? So the pop-off, controlling pressure and also changing the system. Then the system allows for mechanical ventilation of the lungs using the attached ventilator, allows the adjustment of the ventilation pressure, allows for semi-open, semi-closed, and closed system based solely on the fresh gas flow. Okay, like we said, I close off the fresh gas flow, closed system. I allow in little, semi-closed. I allow in a lot of fresh gas that becomes semi-open. And then it is easily to scavenge to avoid pollution of the OR environment, whereby the carbon dioxide, we are removing it. So we're having less wastes. So that means we are not polluting the air with our waste from the patient. Yet for us, we are polluting. Advantages of rebreathing. What are the advantages of having a semi-closed? Okay. One, there is cost reduction because we use less oxygen. I'm supplying less oxygen. Increase the tracheal warmth and humidity. This patient is not losing his warmth and humidity through the air because it is coming back and is taking back the humidity and the temperature. Then decreased exposure of the OR personnel to the waste gases. You're getting me? So this is the reason why they had one of the reasons why they put corona patients on ventilators, that their breathe out oxygen air does not go to the hospital environment, get other patients sick. Then decreases pollution of the environment. Remember that the degree of rebreathing in an anesthesia circuit is increased as the fresh gas flow supplied to the circuit is decreased. It decreases the air I'm putting in the system, it tends towards closed. If I increase the air I'm putting in the system, it tends towards open. We are together. Yeah, so anesthesia breathing system. So there they are showing it. Fresh gas going to the patient. Okay. If I have fresh gas going straight to the patient, that one becomes unopen. If I open it fully, semi-open. If it is now the patient is getting back some of it, semi-closed. If I close off the fresh gas, it is closed system. So now we have an issue of dead space. Dead space usually affects the breathing. Okay. So dead space increases with the use of any anesthetic system. Okay. So if I have put a tube on you with a can there, from that can to here, that becomes part of my dead space to the mouth down. You see, all that it has my air, all that system, but it's not going to they are not on the respiratory surfaces. More so or less, that one affects the oxygen that reaches the respiratory surfaces. So that's the disadvantage of that big dead space. That's why they face the other modification of extending the valve. It will increase the space. So unlike the Mark-Leeson circuits, the length of the breathing tube of the cell. Yeah, from the thorax. But the tube system does not direct traffic. from people. The patient. However, the best to avoid hypercarbania in the first. Yeah, we have the. Yeah, okay, by dead space, from my mouth to my lungs, okay, there is somewhere which does not carry out respiration. Yeah, my trachea, you're getting me? My trachea, my bronchioles, they don't carry out respiration, okay? So if you give me 2 liters of oxygen, that means 2 liters, 1 liter will stop in my mouth, trachea, and bronchioles. And my air sacs will be receiving 1 liter. You're getting me? So if you add a tube on me and you've only given me 2 liters, that means the tube takes 1 liter, the tracheas take 1 liter, my lungs are getting nothing. You're getting me? That's the effect of the dead space. When I add you a tube, I'm adding on your dead space. So to control that, instead of giving you 2 liters, the normal 2 liters, I have to give you like 3. You're getting me? I give you like 3 liters so that it can compensate for the dead space of your entire respiratory system. Because once I add you in a sachet, that becomes part of your respiratory system too. You're getting me? So I have to increase in your system. I have to increase what? The oxygen I put in. So increased dead space increases rebreathing of carbon dioxide. You're getting me? Because the dead space determines the air. Air in the dead space sometimes remains more so the same, okay? Breathe in and breathe out, okay? So the carbon dioxide may lag in that dead space. So if it lags, that means its partial pressure increases, therefore you rebreathe more of the carbon dioxide. So to avoid hypercarbia in the face of an acute increase in dead space, the patient must increase minute ventilation, okay? So this patient should also breathe in a lot so that that carbon dioxide is forced out of that dead space. And the dead space ends where the respiratory and the inspiratory and expiratory gas streams coverage, okay? So this dead space is where you breathe in and breathe out, okay? That tube is all your dead space. So if I add your tube, I'm adding you more dead space. So you should give you more oxygen and you should also be breathing faster so that you can remove the carbon dioxide from the dead space and you don't rebreathe. And also the oxygen I'm supplying for you becomes enough. I have to increase. No. They will breathe in as per their body responses. You can't tell the patient to breathe. But you just know that you also have to increase the oxygen concentration so that the patient has enough to breathe in. They breathe fast. So yes. Yeah. If I have put a tube on you directly to your trachea, okay, I've intubated you to the machine. The dead space continues up to the machine. You're getting me? But if I put a mask on you, where your oxygen enters and where you're breathing out is on this mask. So your dead space is reduced. Where you can respire from is reduced. Yes. It will be. Maybe, yeah. So you bypass the trachea. To increase. Yes, but that's for the tubing. Now for the removal of carbon dioxide. Because also with this point now, if I'm internalizing it, it comes to another format. That if I use a mask, I'm breathing on the mouth, right? When you use the endotracheal tube, the oxygen is delivered to the sternum directly. So it goes to the bronchioles. So that means the tendency of you breathing carbon dioxide are lesser compared to the one who's getting from the mask. Carbon dioxide. Remember, even you have a trachea, another tube here, so which is taking up, which will act as a buffer. You breathe out, the carbon dioxide stays in you. So when I give you oxygen, you will be breathing also the carbon dioxide that remains in you. But in the endotracheal tube, this tube reaches up to the bronchioles. So when I release the oxygen, it goes direct to the bronchioles to the air sacs. The carbon dioxide comes back to the bronchioles, it is sucked up. That means the endotracheal tube will be having lesser dead space compared to the mask. Yes. Up to the nose. That is in terms of physiology, but also the tubing, you have to increase oxygen. We are confusing two things. Hmm. Yes. In the past. Anyway, yeah, anyway, what I'm thinking now, because it has also changed my thinking. If someone is critically ill and he needs oxygen urgently, okay, and we don't want error for rebreathing of carbon dioxide, we are supposed to use the intubation so that we can reduce the dead space compared to someone who is not so critical. You can use the mask. That's what I'm picking from your explanation. Hmm? Mm. 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 Okay. Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay, so the dead space, you have to look it in perspective of the patient alone, no system. No system. Yeah, it is. No, but that one you have to. You have to, because if you know him had a distributor, beds that are far, you would give them more oxygen compared to nearer beds because of that distance. We had to. That one you have to for the oxygen delivery. Okay, okay, it's 5 minutes for these guys to end. So let's rush. Then the carbon dioxide neutralization. It's influenced by the size of granules, the presence of absence of the channeling in the canister, okay, and then the tidal volume in comparison to the void space of the canister. So they have like half the capacity, okay? How much they absorb them? Are they both canisters or you have put one? The channeling in them and the size. If they are small sizes, they have large surface areas for absorption. So they will excrete more carbon dioxide compared when they are big granules. They have small surface area for absorption. So pH sensitive dye. We have ethyl violet indicator that will turn purple when the soda lime is exhausted. Okay, so we must change it when it is 50 to 70%. Has changed color. When you see 70% of the canister changed color, you change. So regeneration. The exhausted granules may revert to the original color if they are rested. You're getting me, but no significant recovery of the absorptive capacity occurs. So if you remove those canisters and keep them, they may look new, but they are not functional. So you should not reuse them. You just have to change the canister. Then carbon dioxide neutralization. The maximum absorptive capacity of 26 liters of carbon dioxide per 100 grams of the granules. So the granules designated by the mesh size, that is 4 to 8 mesh. A comparison between a higher absorptive surface area of small granules and low resistance flow of larger granules. Okay, it shows you the advantage of one on the other. The larger granules have less force to pass through, they have less resistance, but they absorb less carbon dioxide. The small granules, it has a higher resistance, but it absorbs all the carbon dioxide. Okay, so you determine dependent. What? No, it depends. A kid, you can put the large ones, then the young one, you put the small, the old one, you put the small one. Most of them, they don't have the resistance. They are not so much affected by resistance than the children. You get it? So you can interchange. Then the toxic byproducts. The drier the soda lime, the more likely to absorb and degrade the volatile anesthetics. This is bad since the absorber is designed to absorb carbon dioxide and not to further degrade our anesthetic our volatile anesthetic agents. So it should not be so dry. It may absorb them. Then carbon dioxide neutralization. Am I going back? Oh, going back. Disadvantages of a circle system. It has a greater size and lesser portability. The circle system, it is big, so you can't easily move with it. Then it increased the complexity, high risk of disconnection or malfunction. You see that system has a lot of pipes, so it may have a disconnection and you think your system is working. Increased resistance because it has valves. You're getting to have resistance. So this what? This less they use in pediatrics. They do not use it in pediatrics because of the resistance. Difficult prediction of the inspired gas connections during a flow gas flow equation. During a low, your question when you said how do you determine the gas flow, you're saying there is a difficulty in prediction of the inspired gas connection during a low fresh gas flow. So you may not predict very well. Here they show us the endotracheal tube, the endotracheal tubules parts. You have the Murphy's eye. It has a Palot's bulb. It has a what? Those are parts. This is the laryngeal what? The one we spoke of yesterday. Is it the one you were talking about yesterday? Yeah. This is the one that covers the larynx. It's this one. On 39. No, the next one, 39. No, the next slide. That one. Yes, that's the one. Then high oxygen delivery systems to have the high flow, like the wet masks, mechanical air swallow systems, and the high flow humidifier systems. High flow, I think they are the machines they have here. Then the low flow, we have the nasal cannula, the simple mask, partially breathing mask, and non-breathing mask. These ones, they are low flow because we are putting in the air mixing with our normal air and it is going in, low flow. Then the high flow, the air is going directly into the lungs, so it becomes a high flow delivery system. Then a partial breathable mask, the ones usually used for nebulizers, okay? So it has the exhaustion ports, it will have some reservoir, it keeps part which can come back or can go out, it depends, okay? And also the oxygen delivery pipe. So the oxygen is directed into the reservoir. Inspiration, I think we are seeing the partial breathable rebreather mask, okay? We know them from the nebulizer, okay? Yeah. Any question about them? Those partially breathable masks, we use it mostly for nebulizing. Yeah? What would be the reservoir is where you put the drug. Put the drug in the reservoir, they rebreathe. The non-rebreathing face mask, these ones we put direct, okay? We cut off, yeah, non-breathing mask, one-way valves. For them, we just cut off the oxygen. The oxygen coming in goes one way and it leaves one way, okay? The exhalation ports are closed. You're getting me? The exhalation ports, those who do the mask, you have it like this, okay? In most cases, they have a hole on the side, okay? So if I let the hole on the sides kind of closed, okay, it will be a rebreathing mask. Because what I breathe in, part of it I can breathe it back. But when I make it open, okay, what I breathe in, I breathe it out through those ports. So when you close these ports here, you breathe in part of what you are breathing out. When you put like cotton or what. But when you let it open, you don't breathe in what you breathed out. That's the difference between a rebreathing mask and a non-rebreathing mask. Okay, they have those cotton something to block. So if you block partially, you breathe part of what has gone to the reservoir. If you don't block it, you just block what will go to the reservoir, and the person breathes in and out. You see, the valves repel the exhaled gas flow into the reservoir bag. Okay, the reservoir bag is closed off. So the valve open exhalation ports prevents air entrainment. So they deliver 100% oxygen if the bag does not completely collapse during inhalation. So if the bag does not reduce when you're breathing in, that means you're taking in 100%. If it collapses, so these are the rebreathable masks, okay? Those who hold you see on the sides. You're getting the masks. Once the holes, I close them, you see some of them put what? The strapping. That's making it a rebreathable mask. Once they remove the strapping, it is a non-rebreathable mask. You're getting it. Then a simple mask. The simple masks, they're the ones that don't have the bags, the reservoir bags, okay? Open ports for exhaled gases. So these are the simple masks. For them, they don't have the bag. But if it is a rebreathable one, it has the bag and not closed, and the exhalation, it just allows part of the air to leave and part you're rebreathing it. Non-rebreathable, it is open, part goes to the bag, but you've closed it, you don't breathe it again. A simple, you just put it directly, no bag on it. Low flow device allows, so they are different. Then we have the nozzle prongs. The nozzle prongs and nozzle cannula. What does this percentage mean with the liters? Is it liters that I'm giving per minute and the percentage of oxygen I'll be producing? What does it stand for? I also didn't get it well. Guys, I'm still wondering on the nozzle cannulas, the liters and the percentages. What does it stand for? Is it the percentage of oxygen delivered? Because I see 1 liter, it has 24%, 2 liter, 28. The person, that person is going to receive. Anyway. Okay. And then a Venturi mask. What's a Venturi mask? Venturi mask, the last side. Yeah. What's a Venturi mask? I also didn't get it. But it provides precise, I think, oxygen, reduced oxygen to patients carrying low or moderate oxygen levels. Yeah, no picture, no what. It's I think so. With that, we are done with oxygen. We are done with oxygen. Should we proceed with the inhalation?